Hey guys peeps, welcome back to Snail TV. We do have a pretty awesome patrol in at the moment with a F6 motor in there, and it had been, I hadn't done it, it's been previously done from another company. Everything, yeah, it was a runner originally, of course. A couple of months ago, the customer had come back to me, asked me if I can do anything of like rewire this. It's got an aftermarket ECU, it's got an EMU ECU, so not really too name brandy around where we are in Adelaide, but they're a good ECU as well, so they can do the job well past what it needs on this engine. And yeah, so he's brought it to me, and it was just, apparently it was blowing fuses, so it actually had to come on a tow truck, and yeah, it wouldn't tick over, it wouldn't actually do anything. So start off with just ripping all the wiring out on engine bay, rewired the whole engine bay, and put everything under here, put actually the ECU back under here. It was actually in underneath the passenger side, but it was literally just like shoved under there. It was pretty messy. So I've actually, factory Fords as well, they've actually just put it underneath the bonnet, and it's made the loom a lot nicer and everything like that. So that's all come up well. Rewired the fuel pump, thermo fans, of course, just all the little auxiliaries there as well. Done all that, got that running up, no worries. Put it into the, got the wiring into the underneath the glove box there, not glove box, the dash. And it was a bit messy there as well, so contacted the customer, and we'd gone a little bit further with it, rewired underneath the dash as well, as much as I could. Got that done nicely as well. And then his heater core, quickly done up his heater core, that wasn't hooked up, and yeah, engine bay was pretty much done after that. Got all the wiring done, all the main engine earths and engine powers all done as well. When it first come in, it was all powered up with and earthed up with just all very thinly strands, all you call it, well, car audio wire. Unfortunately, it was very thin strand. It's not high current stuff, unfortunately. You have to go high current stuff, you have to go real fat. But we did that and went in the dash, hooked up a power tune dash as well inside there, and that's all been done with all the lights down the side. What we've done in here is the power tune dash. The customer supplied the dash, the housing from power tune and all that. I've just wired up everything and got everything to work. A lot of lights, absolutely a lot of lights. So first up, as you'll be able to see, that the power tune has now actually just, unfortunately, it's gone back into a reboot mode. That was just because of the factory, the one that come with it, the little power hub that come with it to convert to 5 volts, has actually stuffed up on us on the last route. The power tunes replaced that for free. So thanks very much to them as well for that easy yeah, replacement. But unfortunately it was updating, and I'm pretty sure that's what I think that was happening. So it was updating to a newer version, and then it's cut out. Now it's gone back into the reboot mode, but Powertune's been in contact with the owner to get it to actual fix up, but it keeps resetting. So now the Powertune has sent out a brand new 5 volt converter, and I've now installed that. So now we're actually ready to go to reboot the Powertune from, yeah, like to scratch. So everything was working straight up before to the ECU. We got all that working, so that was awesome. Just straight up to the data line there, so that was all good. Now all these lights were just absolute nightmare. So first light, you can see down the bottom here, you've got handbrake. All right. Second one, you've got low fuel. You got charge. Next one was a skull, and skull we did have as ignition, but it was annoying because it was always on. Then you've got top indicator, right indicator, left indicator. You got Next one down was four-wheel drive, and four-wheel drive at the moment we just cannot get it. High beams, and then we've got lights. All right, so that's where everything is at the moment. You know, obviously when you're driving, lights is off, battery comes off, low fuel if you got no fuel's out goods, and so no lights will be on when you're driving, and everything will start coming on when things start happening. That's all. So that's all come up well. I did actually install a engine start button around this side. So ignition straight on the ignition switch, and then start it with the starter button. So everything there has all been well. We've got everything working really nicely here and underneath the bonnet as well. Next step, guys, is this thing's going to go to the dyno. Customer will be driving it back as well, so everything still works, everything still runs, no worries. Straight back to the, hopefully it goes to the dyno, and yeah, if we can get cold start happening as well, and yeah, just get everything a little bit more nicer with the driving wise. But it's come a long way, and it's getting there. Small steps. This customer's been really good on helping out back and forth, and he understands of you know, it's not just a straight process. It takes a few baby steps to get there. So that's all. After we've done that, got the car running's all good. It needs dyno time, of course, so before he goes to the dyno, he wants to get everything done that it needs. I then said that probably a aftermarket regulator would be good. So we've now gone to, this time around, we've gone to a new Turbo Smart fuel regulator there. Made up a couple of fittings there to make everything suit. Had to weld a bung on the end of the fuel rail as well to make that suit. Custom stuff. Then the biggest thing was, it's probably been the last, I would say the last 3 guides that I've done anything for Barras, is they remote mount the reservoirs, and unfortunately, for some reason, I don't know why, they just bleed out ever so slowly up top. So the easiest route after, to get rid of that is just to get another little tiny reservoir and just run it somewhere else. It literally never makes it to the other reservoir, but it's just in case if whatever it wants to do. So it just gets rid of that messy power steering fluid that normally comes around, and you know, there's dirt and whatnot, and it just looks messy here. So that's been done on this time around as well. Fuel reg under here. Just hooked up the winch as well, because last time we had to quickly disconnect that because the wiring was just a mess. So we've just had to clean up everything like that. And yeah, inside the dash, we've just hooked up a couple more, all the lights as well, so we've got all those working. Yeah, all in all though, the car's pretty much now ready. I'm hoping he takes it straight to the dyno. That'd be awesome. He drives this around all the time, so it'd be awesome, this thing back on the dyno and getting it actually tuned up properly. Cold start's a little bit out at the moment, and yeah, just to spruce it up a little bit. So and also the screamer. So the screamer it's a standard exhaust manifold and exhaust rear housing on the exhaust side, but they had done a screamer pipe off of the standard turbo. Unfortunately, this car is so heavy. It's a very heavy car, so it is always on boost pretty much. Well, when you're taking off, you need actually some power to let it have it. So yeah, it's, you know, in traffic and stuff like that, you're pretty much on gate, so it's just so loud. I've driven this a couple of times, and yeah, the thing's just absolutely stupid loud. So just to quieten it down, and the exhaust is a little bit loud anyway, so to quieten it down, I've plumbed back the original gate. Gone back straight into the exhaust. It's like a 3-inch exhaust the whole way through, so done that. And also on the way down, there's a couple of bits I've had to modify, but we noticed it was hitting. So I don't know, from factory, well, not factory, but when they've done the conversion it wasn't, but everything is very close. It was hitting on everything. It's been done now, so nothing's hitting there. Everything's all nicely tucked up and away from everything, and there's no rattling. You say that when it was hot, it would then start hitting everything when it's warmed up. But yeah, everything works now, really, really nice. Fans turn on when they're supposed to. That's turned on via the ECU, of course. Fuel pump, no fuses get blown. The actual old school fuse block, not the old school fuse block, but the old fuse block that had got supplied in the original conversion was literally all melted out. So he had a guy come out all the time fixing it. Yeah, just replacing wires, fuses, and just couldn't work out why. It was just easier for me to just rip that all out, rip it out to the back, rewired it from the back. So I've actually got power and earth from the fuel pump straight to the back, straight to up here. Earth straight onto the battery, powered straight by the battery as well, from a relay, of course, and we've got no problems. All right, so I try to tell everyone as well is go straight to your battery, and yeah, this thing's a big filter, okay, what a lot of people don't know, and you'll just cancel out any problems like that. So that's all been done. Hooked up the boost controller what it had on originally. I don't think he's running any more than standard wastegate pressure. But yeah, everything else is all pretty good. So she starts up, she runs. But all in all, guys, the car's been pretty easy to work with. The customer's been awesome to work with as well. He works away, so I'll have the car for a few weeks here and there. And yeah, it is what it is. So I'm gonna have to love you and leave you, guys. I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna take the car out. I'm gonna get some other stuff done, and we're gonna go from there. So on that note, guys, thanks very much, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. See you, peeps.